everyone, my name is Kari and this is Tiger Lily Designs. Welcome to my 2021 Finish Parade. If you're new to my channel, thanks so much for coming and checking me out. If you're a subscriber, I appreciate you. Today I'm going to show you my 2021 and 2022 finishes. Don't worry, there's only 5 from 2020. That was a little slow start to get on the Stitchy Finish Parade, but I wanted to go ahead and just put them all together kind of as a timeline for me. There are 20 total finishes to show you. A lot of them are completely FFO'd. We're probably half and half between FFO'd and finished, but not yet FFO'd. So let's dig right in. I've got some notes in front of me. The table is spread out. You are here in my studio with me. If I could turn the camera around and show you the hot mess that's in front of me, but we're just going to slow and steady and go through it. I've got my notes. We'll try to go in timeline, chronological order from 21 to 20, but we'll see. I'll probably zig and zag, but it'll be a lot of stitchy fun to see. So grab your stitching, grab your favorite beverage, and come along and see some of the things I've been stitching. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Kari, and I do cross stitch videos, quilting videos, do a lot of make with me videos. So I would love for you to subscribe and follow along. 2022, I've got lots of fun lined up, but today is going to be the Finish Parade, and I am an Aida exclusive stitcher. So if you love the linens, I love the linens too. My eyes do not love the linens. So I do Aida only stitching, but don't worry, I still think it all looks pretty good. And so if you are an Aida only, come on over. The cool kids we're here too. And so we're going to dig right into it. So the first thing I've got to show you was my first finish from 2020. This one's usually sitting right here on my wall if you've watched videos from me before. This is the Stitchville by Thimble Blossoms. So you can get this on her Etsy page or on her website. I don't have a printout anymore. It was definitely a PDF download. I used all the called for colors. It's on a 14 count Aida. I went ahead and I mounted this myself on a thrifted clearance Hobby Lobby frame. I had a quick little tutorial finish with me on my Instagram showing you guys how I finished that with sticky board and glue and all the things. So that usually sits right there. So it's going to go right there. So that was my first finish from 2020, and that's called Stitchville. The second one from 2020 is a big one. So let me show you the pattern. I do have most of the patterns just to show you in case you need to pause the video and go over to Etsy or go to your favorite online shop or just add it to your list. So this is Quaker Pumpkins by Hello from Liz Matthews. And I did this one. Again, I'm not going to say Aida all the time, but it is a 14 count Aida. I used all the called for colors. You can see it's a huge piece. I did also frame this one myself. This was a Hobby Lobby special. The size just worked out perfect. I just was patient and waited for the perfect size to come, and it did. And so I popped it in there and finished that one. That one was super fun to come out during the Halloween season this year. All right, let's see. So this is one that is not fully finished. Tomato Dame. So this was a sweet little Plum Street sampler pattern. In 2020, I had a tomato garden, as many of us did in 2020. There was a lot of sourdough. I also did the sourdough starter, but I had tomatoes and sourdough. And so I just loved this pattern, stitched it up. This was a 16 count something that I got at my local L&S. As you can see, it's not finished. It's supposed to, I'm going to make it into a dough bowl. I've got it almost finished. I've got it interfaced and ready to go. And I've got this yummy orange velvet that's going to go on the back of it. So it's close, but I just didn't have the motivation, I guess, to do the pillow finish on this one yet. Maybe this year. We'll see. It's one of those things where I think when I want to do a pillow finish, I want to do a couple of them at the same time. I kind of like gang doing things like that. Anywho, so the next one that I have is from Misty Purcell. This was her Luminous Fiber Arts Noel Rouge, and I had to get this pattern first thing I saw it. I wanted to do this stocking, but for whatever reason, I went right towards this one. And so this is a sweet little piece on earth. This is a ribbon red, is the red I chose. I wanted a little bit of variegation. Again, haven't finished it. It measures out to be about a 5x7, so I'll probably do some kind of flat finish similar to this. Maybe add it, have it ready for my decor for next year. So that one is in my needs to be finished pile. And we've got our fifth. We're going to go right along these quick. So this was my fifth one from 2020. This is another hello from Liz Matthews. She's one of my favorite designers. This is Quaker Snowflakes. And so I was immediately drawn to the blue one on this one. I did my own RIT dye modeling. There was like 2 or 3 different colors of blue that I mixed together. I have a dye with me video that you can check out in my tutorials playlist if you wanted to learn how I did it. But I went ahead and I stitched, this is stitched with Silks for You. They're white, it's a snowy white silk floss. I love this, it was so fun. This one's out right now in my home. It's not snowing yet, but we're forecasted for the snowpocalypse coming this weekend. So maybe that'll be fun. And then my last one from 2020 was just a sweet little Hope sampler pattern that Liz did. She this was part of her newsletter. It was a freebie in her newsletter. So this has the purple yummy velvet. So it's kind of like what the tomato one's going to be. But this is also on a hand dyed by me, kind of a yummy pinky purple fun, just sweet little pillow that I did. So that's hello from Liz Matthews. I think you can get that on her website now as a freebie. So those are the 6 from 2020. Let's flip the page to 2021. And this is where it gets a little complicated. Let's see if we can dig right through. All right, so we're just going to stop. The first one is, again, this is like the moral of the story. I promise I stitch other people besides hello from Liz Matthews, but when you have a favorite, you stitch a favorite. So she has a great pattern. First day of Christmas. She is up to day 5. This was the first day of Christmas that I am stitching. There's the pattern. Now you can see this one is, again, not fully finished. It is stitched on a 14 count country cream, something like that. I got from Fat Quarters shop. I got a yard of it because I am going to do all the samplers and I'm going to stitch them all together in a wall hanging, because they measure out to be about 8 by 10 and I don't have a space for 12 8 by 10 display pieces during the Christmas season. But I believe that if I put them all together in like a 4 by 3 or 3 by 4 grid and it will have a nice wall hanging, I'm sure I can find a place to hang a wall Christmas quilt when all 12 days are done. But I've got some time because she's only up to day 5. I just finished day 3. I showed that in my last Flosstube Friday. So if you want to see day 3, go check that out. But that was my first finish for 2021. That was my Christmas Day start from 2020. Finished that in March of 21. Another one that I started in December of 2020, but I finished the stitching in January of 21, but I fully finished here recently in the fall, was Teresa Kogut's Struttin. So again, I started this in December of 2020. I finished the stitching in January of 21, and I FFO'd it completely in November of 21. But this is my sweet Struttin finish. If you followed me along during Flossmas, you saw this guy. He was in my intro little ditty during the entire month of videos. So this is just a store-bought 5x7 frame. I kind of off-centered him and then added some garlands and a little miniature tree doodad from my local Walmart, hot glue, sticky board, and I think it turned out so sweet. This was on a 14 count coffee dyed by me, Aida, using all the colorful colors. So that's Teresa Kogut's Struttin. Let's see, another one. So my new start for 2021 was Sweetheart Hill. Here we go. I was like, hold on, the patterns. Woo! Don't knock the camera over. The patterns are all over the place. The finishes are all over the place, but we're gonna get through it. So my new start for January of 2021 was Sweetheart Hill from Plum Street Samplers. I had the intentions of getting this stitched up and gifted for Valentine's Day. It did not happen, but better late than never. This guy finished in July of 21, and then I fully finished him. Hold on, don't let me fall out of the chair. I fully finished it in August of 21, and so now this hangs up at a prominent location in my hallway right outside my bedroom. It's just a sweet little sentiment. Those people are holding hands with a heart. I just love it. As you can see, I left the I Belong With You. I took that off the chart. Not that I didn't like the sentiment, but I loved this thrifted frame that I got and it wasn't gonna fit. So sometimes you gotta make adjustments to fit. So this was a thrifted frame that I painted. You can see the paint is a little wonky, but I painted it, and then I did some wax to highlight this, just the funky dimension on the frame. And so I really, really love that finish. And that is Sweetheart Hill by Plum Street Samplers. All right. This is one. So sometimes I love starting things when I go someplace special, and the memories are always associated with that time. So in March of 2021, it was the middle of COVID, and so my son was a senior in high school, and as a kind of alternative to his senior year, spring break, summer trip, I don't know, I took 10 high schoolers, 15, 12, I don't know. I don't remember how many. There was about 10 high schoolers, friends of his and my daughter, and we went down to Clemson and we rented a lake house for the week. And so we did spring break on a lake in Clemson. Anyway, and so I'm just sitting there, the high schoolers on the lake doing the lake things all week long. And I'm just there as the adult supervisor, I guess. And so anyway, so I was stitching this goat. It has nothing to do with spring break on the lake, but it was just a sweet little pattern that I had kitted up before I went down. It's Giddy Goat by Artful Offerings. This was my first time stitching her, and I love her. You'll see later on that I kind of went down the Artful Offerings rabbit hole. So I went ahead and I stitched this on a 16 count Glacier, Picture This Plus Aida. I haven't finished it, but I have the finishing piece for it. This was one of those ones where it's a funky, almost a square, but not a square. And I got this funny clock insert that he's going to pop into. So I was just waiting to find the perfect place for him. And it's this wall mounted clock that is going to, instead of being the clock, I'm going to put this in there and it's going to hang in my kitchen because apples in kitchen. Anyway, so that was my sweet start and finish during March of 2021 while I was on spring break. And I will forever cherish those memories. Another one that I started while I was at Clemson Week was a Plum Street Sampler Blackberry House. Now, this one was not a start and finish in March. This one I started after I finished that Giddy Goat. Thankfully had brought one more project, and I got her started, stitched on a 16 count Tyco by Picture This Plus. This one I did not finish until I finished the stitching in August of 21, and I fully finished it in October of 21. And I have not shown this on my channel until today. Somehow the holidays got away from me, and this guy just went up on the wall and didn't get shown. So here it is. This is, again, another thrift store frame that I chalk painted. I grabbed this yummy chalky kind of a blue-gray color at Hobby Lobby. I think I did an Instagram little video showing you guys how I did it. You can see I changed the year to 2021. I changed the K and the C. Those are my initials. So I thought that was fun to switch the flosses on that. Not like in your face, but just enough to change it up. I did take away the weather vane that was on the house that was over one stitching. I just didn't have the confidence yet in doing over one on Aida. So I switched it out and put another Quaker star instead. I also took away the border. Again, this was I wanted to fit in the frame. So, but I love how this guy turned out, and it hangs up in a pretty prominent place in my home next to a quilt ladder up in my family room. All right, so let's see. This is another one. Mary 3. Mary 3, I finished. I keep moving the camera. Sorry, friends. That's what happens when you put the patterns on top of the stand. Anyway, so Mary 3 is a Plum Street sampler dough bowl pillow, but it's not a pillow yet. Right now it's just a finish, but it's super sweet. I just finished Mary 1, and so I've got Mary 2. So 1, 2, and 3. Once I get all 3 of those stitched up and done, then those 3 are going to get finished for pillows, and I will have them out next year for sure. Let's see what else I've got. Okay, so I know I told you guys, so I went down the Giddy Goat Artful Offerings. This is one that once I stitched that one, I was like, give me all the Artful Offerings. I've also got a couple of her patterns already in my stash. Hopefully I'm going to kit those up soon. So this was another stitch that I did on the 16 count Glacier Aida that I had bought from Picture This Plus. That the goat was on. And so now this Cardinal is on it. And so this one I started in October 30th, 2021, finished in November. So this was a quick little stitch. I went ahead and finished it. This is a store-bought standard 8x10 frame. I love the dental molding on here. I think it was white to cut. I don't think I painted it. Well, maybe I did. I don't remember. But I went ahead and I put some red gingham on the back, sticky mounted it. Again, very similar to the Struttin, just offset a little bit, little garland, a little bow, and it just sits up, propped up in a hanger on display during Christmas. So that was that finish. All right, we're getting close. I got a couple more finishes here to show you guys. So one that I had stitched up real quick in December. In November, before I started Flosstube, because Flosstube took over and holy cow. This was from the Home for the Holidays book. I've got the first Blackbird stocking. Yeah, it's not done. Maybe next time. I do want to get all of this. So I did mine's on a 20 count vintage country mocha, using a 1 floss. It's charted for 3 flosses, but instead of doing that, I used a Miss Sadis variegated red silk. It's called Rouge. And it had enough variegation where that was the effect I was going to go for instead of switching all those, kind of making it a 1 color stitch. And I really enjoyed the 1 color stitch. I need more of those in my life. Just as a mindless, I think I should always have a 1 color stitch going. Right now I don't, so I need to hop on it. This is another one. I'm all over the place, but this is one that I did on a sweet vacation, that I went quick little trip to Florida. And Labor Day, I kitted up something for the airplane, and during the downtime, when you're not at the beach or when everybody's showering before you go to dinner, and I've already had enough of my beach read book, I would pull out the stitching. And yes, I was stitching Christmas Santa in September. That's okay, because that's how this guy gets done. This is Merry Old Soul by Brenda Gervais. And I love this finish. This one was so sweet. I believe he was in the backdrop of most of my Flossmas videos. I don't remember, honestly, because he then moved to his more permanent location. But this was a red. You can see that clearance sticker from Hobby Lobby. I'm a sucker for a clearance sticker. So this was an 8x10 frame. You can see the red. That means I painted it. It was a chalkboard paint that I painted and then scuffed up, put some green fabric in the background, sticky board mounted the actual stitching. This was a little wooden ornament that was at the Hobby Lobby by September. You know, Christmas was out at Hobby Lobby. So I got this little doodad to add to the side of it just to give it a little something. And so that was a sweet little Christmas finish that I had. And let's see, let me just show you this one. Okay, so I don't have this one. I will insert a picture right here of this finished product. This was a labor of love, 18 months, almost 2 years of stitching this beauty. This was a special 2021 Christmas gift. And so here's a picture of it in front of my Christmas tree before it's gifted. Now it's hanging up in its permanent home and the recipient loves it. And so that's my biggest finish for 21 and 20 and really forever. But I love it. I've got a new big mamu coming to me starting on my birthday start here this month. Because, you know, you always have to have a big giant sampler ready to go. And so I've got a new one coming. I've got just a couple sweet finishes that I finished during Flossmas, and then that's the end. Flossmas was super fun this year. I had so much fun sharing with you guys, the Etsy designers, and finding new people. I'm coming up with new exciting things. I think Jolly July is going to happen. A little twist. Stay tuned if you want to join along the fun. So this was one. This was not a Flossmas. This was right before Flossmas started. This was Satsuma Street. She had a mystery SAL. It was this huge, was it 12? 16 blocks, little ornamenty squares. There was a grid of 12, I think. I knew I wasn't going to get all 12 done before Flossmas started. And so I just was drawn. Satsuma Street does such a great job with her colors. They're so vibrant and I just love everything about them. So this is on a 14 count die by me. Purple, mottled, all the different colors. I grabbed that one because I thought it looked great with the floss toss of the Noel. So I just took the 4 blocks that spelled Noel out of the Satsuma Street SAL, which you can get now in her Etsy shop. The full pattern. It's not a mystery anymore. And then I just added some buttons to it, put some Allison glass fabric that coordinated with that pink. And this is just on a wood block. It had some kind of doodad on it that I thrifted and I just mounted this on it instead. So I'm a big finisher on your own. You can see everything that is finished. I have finished myself. I have a couple different finishing videos, both of ornaments and a frame finish. I will be doing more in 2022, just because I don't want you guys not to finish what you stitch. If you're a stitcher, just for a process stitcher, and that's the part you like, awesome sauce. Like, you do you. But I don't like to have my things stitched and not finished because I spend hours and hours and days and weeks and oh my goodness, I don't even know how much time. And the joy I get, like walking out down my hall and seeing this Blackberry House at my quilt ladder or seeing Sweetheart Hill when I go inside my bedroom. I feel my walls are filled with art that either I've created. My mother is a very talented artist. I have her paintings all over. Both my grandmothers. I'm fortunate enough to have many of their different arts on my wall. So if it is on my wall, chances are it was made by a woman in my family. There you go. Girl power. So anyway, I like to finish it. I don't want the cost of custom framing to be cost prohibitive and to stop me from enjoying the quilt art or the stitchy art that I create. Anyway, soapbox over. I just have a couple more here. I don't even know if I have the patterns for these guys, but they're definitely, if you go back into my Flossmas episodes, you can see them in their full glory. That you'll see a little in the front of everyone. You'll see which one. So this is the first one. Okay, so yep, see this? You'll see. This is, I did a finish an ornament with me. So I have this tutorial. It's just a quick little time lapse, 3 or 4 minutes. You can do it. It's sticky board, 2 pieces of sticky board, another piece of sticky board, some batting, some ribbons, some wood beads, a covered button that I got from an upcycled sweater, and all the things. There's a story involved why it's got this little thing. The moral of the story is dogs take ornaments off trees. The end. But that's okay. I love my Davo, and now I'll forever know that he loved my pink Santa too. So another one that I finished in the very similar style, also during Flossmas. So this was a pattern by Salt and Pepper Stitching. Emily Call, you can find her on Instagram and Etsy. Again, so this was another Flossmas. This is Americana Santa. And I don't remember the name of the Etsy shop. Oh, that's awful. But I will link her down below. This is also an Etsy pattern. You can definitely go follow my Instagram. She's got a lot of different patterns that are of this primitive Americana style. I did this on a coffee tea dyed by me, Aida. Similar finish. I put some rickrack in the middle just for some red, white, and blue fun. A bow, a covered button, wood beads, a little bit of glue gun, a little bit of craft wire. Good to go. Dabo didn't eat this one. And then my last one was a gift for this holiday season as well. This was a during the Flossmas ornament, Irish Santa. This is the French Giraffe is the name of that Etsy shop. She's got all different Santas from different countries. Such a great it's just a great way to pay homage to your heritage, whether it's Finland or Sweden or Scotland or Irish or all the things. She's got Santas from lots of different countries. I think she's up to 12 maybe. They're all super great. So I finished this. This is just a flat fold. I didn't want to mount it on a board because it was already kind of big. So instead I did a little cording in the middle to kind of cover up the edge. Ribbon at the top, 4-leaf clover, button, cording, finished, good to go. And that is my ornament. And that is my 20. Yay. So that is my finish parade for 2021. And there's a few in the beginning from 2020, just so I can have a timeline recollection of all my stitching. Now I can go put it back in the house and enjoy it for the rest of 2022. I've got hashtag goals. So in 2021, I finished 14 pieces. Let's see if I can get up to 20 in 2022 or maybe 22 because that's fun. The good news is that I'm already 6 in. Like, I'm pretty excited about it. So my last Flosstube, I showed you guys the 6 finishes I have so far already for 2022. They're all just stitch finished. Nobody's fully FFO'd, but that's coming. I'm super excited. I hope you enjoyed seeing something. Hopefully maybe you added something to your wish list, what you're going to stitch in 2022. But thanks so much for joining me. I hope you follow along, subscribe to my channel. I do a Flosstube episode every Flosstube Friday. At least I try to show you guys what I've been working on, finishes, hulls, stitching, whips, all the things. There's also some quilty goodness, usually at the end of my videos. Sometimes it's a separate video. We just have lots of fun. So I hope you consider joining, coming along for the ride. Also follow me on Instagram. I'm there all the time showing you guys what I'm working on. But I just love this community so much and I'm having so much fun creating and showing you guys. And I can't wait to stitch some more with you guys. Happy stitching!